Hello everyone. Our today's topic is tissues of humans. So, let's understand what exactly tissue is and the every little thing about tissues, their types, their functions, their uh, diseases which can happen, different types of tissues. Let's understand. So, let's start with the basic, that is the definition of tissues. Tissues are made up of cells which have the similar function and structure. Tissue is a structure, is a thing which is made up of lot of cells together which bind together and it forms tissues. The study of tissue is called histology and the study of tissue diseases is called histopathology. Now let's understand what are the different types of tissues. The different types of tissues are epithelial tissue, connective tissue, muscular tissue, and the most important one is the nervous tissue. Now let's understand what are epithelial tissues. The first type of tissues. Epithelial tissues are the tissues like all layers and organs in the body are lined up by a group of tissues commonly called as epithelial tissue. Epithelial tissue are further divided in many parts. Epithelial tissue are have two main parts, that are simple epithelial tissue and stratified epithelial tissue. Simple epithelium tissue is further classified into squamous, cuboidal, and columnar. And same as with stratified, are further divided with squamous, columnar, cuboidal, and transitional tissues. Now, one by one, let us understand the functions of epithelial tissue. There are four functions of epithelial tissue. Now let's see one by one. So the first function of epithelial tissue is protection. Skin protects. Epithelial tissue is present in the layer of skin which protects the underlying structure of the external environment. Second function is absorption. The epithelial tissue is present on the lining of the stomach and intestinal lining, which absorbs the food and nutrients which are required by the body and for the body. The third function of the epithelial tissue is filtration. Filtration, the epithelial tissue in kidney helps to filter the toxic substances which are present in the body and the blood. The fourth important function of the epithelial tissue is secretion. Epithelial tissue is present in the form of glands which secrete useful substances which are needed to the body. Second types of tissue are connective tissue. They connect and support and bind separate to the other types of tissue. These tissue binds the cells and the organs. It fills the spaces between our body with the help of a matrix made up of fibers. These comprises of blood, ligaments, areolar tissue, adipose tissue, bone, cartilage, tendon, etc. Now let's see what is blood. Blood is a fluid connective tissue which is present in the whole body and whose function is to transfer oxygen from heart to other parts of the body. Next is ligament. Ligament is the fibrous band of dense connective tissue. It connects one bone to the another bone to form a joint that is known as ligament. Areolar tissue. Areolar tissue is a loose connective tissue which that can be seen between the skin and muscles in the bone marrow as well as around the blood vessels and nerves. It also provides help to the internal organs, support to the internal organs, and also help in the repair of tissues. Adipose tissue. Adipose tissue is also a loose connective tissue, mostly composed of fat cells called the adipocytes. And due to storage of fat, it acts as an insulator. It also provides mechanical protection and padding around the major organs. Example is kidney. Next is bone. Bone is a hard tissue that forms the skeleton. That is the basic framework of the body. It gives support to the body to stand still and maintain the position. The bone also protects the other organs like the rib cage of our body protects our lungs and heart from injuries. Next is cartilage. Cartilage is not hard as a bone. It is a flexible tissue which are present in the ear pinna and the tip of the nose, which is movable and we can twist and turn it in any direction. It is not hard as a bone. It also has more stability than the bone. Now let's understand what are the functions of connective tissue. Connective tissue connects the different organs and tissues of the body. It supports the tissues and organs of the body. The third is protect tissue and organ by understanding and withstanding the external and internal mechanical systems and stresses. The last is defends the body from invasion of the microorganisms. Now let's see the next type of tissue, that is the muscular tissue. It is made up of excitable cells. Now let's see what are the properties of the muscular tissue. The muscular tissue are contractible, like they have a lot of contractibility, they have excitability, they have extensibility, and they also have elasticity through which we can do all the muscular movements of our body. The muscle tissues are fibrous tissues. They are fibrous tissues. There are three types of muscular tissue. The three types of muscular tissue are cardiac muscular tissue, then second is skeletal muscular tissue, and the third is smooth muscular tissue, or we can also say cardiac muscles, smooth muscles, and skeletal muscles. Now let us understand the different types of muscle tissue in detail. Now first let's see what are cardiac muscle tissue. The cardiac muscle tissue are extremely specialized tissue form of muscles. The next is the function of cardiac tissue is to pump blood throughout the body, and the cardiac muscle are involuntary in nature. The next is smooth muscles. Smooth muscles don't have stripe or striations. They are involuntary in nature and contract slowly and automatically. The smooth muscles also consist of muscular nature of internal organs and digestive system. The third type is skeletal muscle. They have stripes or striations, and so they are also known as striated muscles. They are voluntary and controlled by us humans. They are anchored by the tendons, bone, and help in locomotion. Attached by tendon they are attached to the skeletons. Now let us see what are the functions of muscular tissue. The function of muscular tissue are posture and body support. Muscular tissue helps us in maintaining the posture and supports our body. The second is moves blood, food, waste through the body organs. Muscular tissue helps in the transferring of blood, food, and waste to our other body organs. Waste is transferred to the excretory system, food to the stomach, that is the digestive system, and blood to the overall whole body. It is responsible for digestion. Muscles play a vital role in the digestion of food in our body. Fourth, it is responsible for the pumping blood throughout the body. Once the carbon dioxide blood reaches the heart, and when the heart purifies it the oxygenated blood, muscle play an important role in transferring the oxygenated blood to the overall body. The fourth and important type of tissue is nervous tissue. Nervous tissue is present in brain and spinal cord and also the nerves. It is made up of neurons, which are nerve cells and neuralgia. Nerve myelin sheath, which is a part of neuron, provides nutrients and protects the axon. Now let us understand what are the function of nervous tissue. The first function of nervous tissue are memory and learning. Nervous tissue provides the ability to remember the things, and it provides us the capability of learning the things quickly, keeping them in mind, and making and storing it in our memory. Second is voluntary movement control. Brain control, that is the neurons and nerves tissue, controls all the voluntary movements in our body. Like whatever we do, I have raised my hand, I have moved towards the left side, I have turned my light to the right side. So it is all controlled by the nervous tissue. So whatever we do, whatever actions we perform, it is under the control of nervous tissue. And second is regulates and controls body. So it regulates and controls body, like it keeps the control on our body so that we don't do anything wrong. Then it generates and transmit nerve impulses. If I am touching a hot vessel and if I get stick there, but the nerve cells are so quick that they give a quick response to and generates a impulse which gets transferred from the brain to my hand, so I quickly remove the hand before my hand gets burnt. Next is it supports and protects the impulse generating neurons. So the nerve tissue helps in protecting and supporting the generating neurons, so they does not get harmed. Thank you.